Welcome everyone to our presentation on design and development of fingerprint-based ATM system. We'll discuss the benefits of using biometric technology to improve security in ATMs and outline the steps required to implement such a system. Additionally, we will address the challenges associated with fingerprint-based ATM system and propose the risk mitigation strategies. So first, let me introduce with my team. Myself, Harsh Bhausar, I have done my bachelor's in computer engineering, and after having 2 years of experience as a Python developer, here I am working as a team leader in Smart Tech Solutions. Followed by that, here is Dhaval Basant, who is our lead data analyst, having more than 3 years of experience in data analytics, and Yash Jain, who is working as a technical lead, who is having 5 years of experience in software development. Then So let's begin the presentation. In today's world, we need pins and cards for using an ATM, and that can be lost, stolen, or replicated. Moreover, customers need to remember a new password frequently, which is sometimes annoying, and the chance of hacks increases. So, at United Canada Bank and SmartNote Solutions, we are proud to bring you the most advanced fingerprint based ATM system. Our proposed system not only improves customer security and convenience but also reduces theft and fraud. While setting up a fingerprint based ATM infrastructure requires a initial investment, but the long term benefits outweighs the cost. By implementing a fingerprint based security system, we significantly reduce the risk of fraud and increase public confidence in the facility's security measures. The benefits of using fingerprint based ATM system is customer no longer need to remember or carry multiple cards for making transaction is faster and more convenient. Fingerprint based ATM significantly reduce the risk of identity theft, card skimming, and another fraudulent activities. By implementing advanced security measures, customer gain confidence in the banking system and which leads to a greater satisfaction and loyalty. The goal of this project is to introduce a reliable and easy to use ATM that uses a biometric fingerprint scanner to replace traditional PIN based security measures. Customer must register their fingerprint with a bank and undergo identity verification through a scanner before being allowed to transact. While working on this project, we overcome many other research questions like what are the current vulnerabilities in pin-based ATM authentication and how can a fingerprint recognition technology address these vulnerabilities? Considering factors such as accuracy, reliability, compatibility with existing hardware and integration with transaction processing system, what are the key technical requirements for implementing fingerprint-based authentication system in ATMs? How does the integration of fingerprint recognition technology into ATMs improve user experience and convenience for users? What are the potential challenges and limitations associated with the adoption and deployment of fingerprint based authentication by users? What privacy concerns should be considered when deploying the fingerprint based ATM system, and how are these concerns addressed to ensure compliance with relevant regulations and standards? What are the potential risks and threats associated with fingerprint based ATM authentication? Fingerprint spoofing or unauthorized access to fingerprint data. What are the best practices and securities practices to effectively mitigate these risks? Are that measure in place or not? The scope of a project is the range of a fingerprint based ATMs include user authentication, transaction authorization, user account management, and security and fraud prevention. The focus is on identifying users with fingerprints, authorizing financial transactions, managing users, and improving security measures to prevent unauthorized access and fraud. The thing which are out of scope for our project is fingerprint based ATM are not involved in cash handling as they focus on authentication and authorization. Non fingerprint authentication methods such as PIN or card authentication may be available to the users who have not registered a fingerprint or have a technical problems. Maintenance and serving of ATM hardware, software, and biometric sensors are outside of the scope of fingerprint based ATMs and are handled exclusively by dedicated staff or service providers. Outcomes and benefits. Fingerprint based ATMs offer convenience and speed by eliminating the need of physical cards and pins. User can access their account by simply placing their fingers on a biometric sensor. Fingerprint authentication reduces the risk of fraud and identity theft for each person's as each person's fingerprint is unique. This protects users' financial assets and personal information. User experience can improve banking experience with fingerprint based ATMs as they no longer need to remember complex PIN or carry physical cards. This leads to higher customer satisfaction. The accuracy and reliability of fingerprint recognition ensure that only authorized users have access to their account, minimizing the risk of false positives or negatives. While there may be a higher initial cost, fingerprint based ATM offer a long term cost saving by reducing fraud investigation expenses and eliminating the need of physical cards. Overall, the implementation of biometric fingerprint authentication in ATMs enhance security and provides a seamless and efficient banking experience for customers. The next topic, business process visualization, will be explained by Dhaval Basant.
Thanks, Harsh, for the perfect start. I would like to take over from my TL. So, my name is Dhaval Vasant, and as mentioned in the previous introductory slide, I have done my bachelor's in computer engineering back in India, and I have 3 years of IT experience as Oracle applications and a database developer. I have hands on experience on R, Python, PLSQL, then Tableau, and Excel. So, based on my previous experiences, my role in this project would be a data analyst role, and I would be taking care of business process visualizations, data analysis plan, ethics and compliances to be maintained in this project, and data management plan. To begin with, I would like to explain business process visualization. So, to explain the fingerprint based ATM process visually, we have prepared a flowchart with swim lane. We have used a swim lane diagram because it is a flowchart which breaks down the individual steps required to carry out a certain work by detailing and who does what process. In a swim lane diagram, the workflow is divided into parallel lanes or partitions, each representing a specific role, department, or entity involved in that process. So these lanes are typically labeled with the names of the titles of the individuals or groups responsible for carrying out the activities. We have divided into three components or entities, that is customer, ATM machine, and the bank. So the role of the customer here is to select a language, scan the fingerprint, enter the amount, and take the money from the ATM slot. Then ATM machine's role here is to present the UI to the user and transfer the details to the bank. Then the bank's role would be to authorize the fingerprint that is stored in the user's database, check the account balance, and deduct the balance based on the amount entered to withdraw. So now the process goes like the user will select the language, preferred language. Then after selecting the language, user will scan the fingerprint on the fingerprint scanner. Then the fingerprint will be authorized through the bank's database. If the fingerprint does not match or is not recognized, an error message will be displayed to try again or seek assistance from the bank. If the fingerprint is successfully verified, we proceed to the next step, that is, enter the amount needs to be withdrawn. Then the ATM machine will pass these details to the bank, and then bank will check the account balance and the amount entered. If the account balance is sufficient, we move on to the next transaction processing. So that is, the amount will get deducted from the bank balance, and ATM machine will prompt user to collect the cash from the ATM. And if the account is not sufficient or having not enough balance to be withdrawn, the system will show the balance to the user and the process will end. So this is what the flowchart with Swimlane explains about the fingerprint-based ATM. I hope this helps in describing the flowchart and explaining the process successfully. Moving on to the next slide, I would like to present data analysis plan, tools, and the business process worked. So the tools that we are going to use in this project are like for statistical analysis, image processing, database management system, and the visualization tools. So for statistical analysis, we are going to use SAS as a platform for various statistical analysis on fingerprint data. So this tool offers a wide range of statistical dates, tests, data visualization capabilities, and advanced analytical techniques to explore the fingerprint-based data and understand the fingerprint-based patterns. Then to capture the fingerprint and match it with the user's database, we are going to use a business OpenCV image processing software, which provides various functions and algorithms for image manipulation, feature extraction, and image-based analysis of fingerprint data. So now to store the fingerprint-based data in the encrypted format, we are going to use MongoDB as a data management tool because it is a non-relational database and users bank's data would not be a relational as it includes the transactional data, then other details. So MongoDB suits to be the best here for querying, indexing, and organizing fingerprint data efficiently. Also, as it is a non-relational database, this allows easy retrieval and manipulation of fingerprint data for analysis and reporting purposes. So the final tool that we are going to use for visualization would be a Power BI, as it is used to create interactive and informative visualizations on the fingerprint data, and it also makes it easier to understand and interpret the data. So moving on to the next part, that is ethics and data management plan. This is very important part of the project as it includes confidentiality, user data, and the data integrity. So here in our project, our findings, our conclusions, our developments, and our deliverables are solely based on the verified data. We always maintain absolute confidentiality and ensure to follow the ethical practices that demonstrate respect, integrity, and dignity among our clients. We always make sure the data is not leaked and we understand the criticality of the data. So, to maintain the validity and reliability of our results, we constantly check the quality, accuracy, completeness of our research before publishing. Then, we do not misinterpret, distort, or exaggerate the data to support our conclusions. We will always state facts which are present in the project. Then, we would always meet our deadlines, whatever mentioned, and we will always explain the process or document in a detail to the customer. So now I would like to pass on to my another colleague, Mr. Yash, who is a developer in our team. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, myself Yash Jain. I'm working as a software developer in Smart Tech Solutions. So, resuming from where my team member Dhaval Vasant has left over, as he had explained about the business process visualization, data analysis plan, and the data management plan, I would like to share my views and present you with the implementation plan, which contains the timeline, budget, and the responsibilities of each and every team member working here. Moreover, I would also like to present with you the references that we have taken in this project. From where did we get an idea of implementing this type of system, which will not only help a lot of individuals but will also be a benefit in terms of the security. So, not taking much more time, I'd like to start with the implementation plan. So, starting in the implementation plan, first is the timeline. So, as we can see, we have divided this project into 13 different timelines, starting where the client is accepting the project charter. So, after the client is accepting the project charter, the second phase will be the requirement gathering. So, we will gather all the requirements available resources we need for this project. So we will require all this, and also we will initiate the funding of round 1. So followed by this, we will start the development. As soon as the development will start, we will after the development has been completed, we will enter in the unit testing module. So unit testing will be done by the team itself, and if everything goes okay, we will be releasing it for the stakeholders so that they can get an idea for that. After we have been released to the stakeholders, we will definitely get some bug fixing and additional features suggestion from them, or any reviews from them. So we will work on that. Followed by, if everything is working perfectly, we will be releasing in the environment that is for the final testing, where we will observe it for few days so that we can get more and more reviews, positive reviews. I it or it may be beneficial for our project, so that we can implement it in the next phase. Moreover, we will also develop a backup strategy, so that in some case, if any time some crash or something like this occurred, then we are ready with the backup plan. So after the backup is been ready, or we can say the final testing has been completed, we will be documenting everything: the test documents, the technical and functional documents, the flow chart, the process documents, and we will evaluate and review for the project development and the results of the testing which we have been received. So after everything has been completed, we will be in releasing the product for the production environment, and we will hand over the project to the client. So at so in this timeline, it will be the timeline of almost 6 months. So we have divided the 6 months into equal tasks, so that at any phase, if we get stuck, then we have the opportunity to cope up with that time. So this was all about the timeline and budget as we have initiated. So following by this, I will explain the responsibilities of what we have divided. So, starting from the position like team leader, Harsh Bhavsar is the team leader, and his responsibilities are pretty quite clear. He will be the project planner and the coordinator. He will be the managing the complete project under his leadership only. We will be he will be guiding us for any technical terms and legalities. Also, he will be the guidance of us. He will be the completely manager who will be managing the project. He will be the one who will collaborating with the stakeholders, so that if any point if we need to represent, he will be the one who will be in touch with them. Also, he will be looking for the quality assurance and testing phase, so that in any matter, if we miss something, he will be the one who will be uh, there too as a backup. So, documentation and reporting work will be all done by him. And also, he will be monitoring the continuous improvement. Like if there is a need of if there is a need of minor changes, also he will be he will be tracking the complete monitor phase, and he will be the one who will be checking all this. Followed by Dhaval Vasan, who will be the lead data analyst in this project. And his roles and responsibilities will be completely regarding the data. So he'll be collecting data, he will be extracting it, he will be performing data manipulation techniques, he will be performing the visualization, he will be doing the analysis, interpretation, and forecasting of the data. All these things will be done by Dhaval Vasan. The part of security and privacy will also be handled by Dhaval Vasant itself. Followed by myself, who am working as a software developer. I will be the system design and the architect of this, because my role will be the designing the flow of this app. All the things regarding programming and testing will be done by my end. The integration of APIs will be done by my end. All the version control and documentation will be done by my end. The troubleshooting and support will be handled by me and my team. So this was all regarding the implementation plans and responsibilities. So now, moving to the next phase, there will be the references, the appendices which we have used, like the references from where did we get this idea of implementing this type of projects. So we have gone through a lot of research papers, articles. Also, we have gone through journals, fingerprint recognition, SDKs, and libraries, that we have figured out all the things that how we can implement this type of system in our project. So for that, we have taken fingerprint recognition research paper publications by Anil Jain. Also, we have taken the fingerprint authentication from basic techniques, so that we have covered each and every module so that we can implement it the best. So this is all the journals and conferences which we have done, fingerprint recognition, SDKs and libraries which we are going to implement in, that will be handled by my end. So all the online resources and tutorial, I have mentioned all the links so that you can get a better idea for that. So this was all the part from my end, and I would like to thank you everyone for hearing me out and letting us complete this project. Thank you so much for that.